Imagine a world where electricity flows silently through the air, where clean, limitless energy reaches every home on Earth, free of cost, where the future arrived a full century too early. Now imagine that the man who dreamed it, who built it, who nearly proved it, was quietly erased from the pages of history. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is not science fiction. This is the story of Nikola Tesla, the man who electrified the modern world, yet died alone, broke, and almost completely forgotten. How does the man who powered the planet vanish from history books? That's exactly what we're here to find out.
Nikola Tesla was born in 1856 in the small village of Smiljan during a violent lightning storm. Many who knew him later said it was as if nature itself was announcing his arrival. From childhood, Tesla was different. He possessed a near-perfect photographic memory and a rare ability called eidetic visualization, the power to construct and operate complex machines entirely inside his mind, spinning and functioning in 3 dimensions without ever touching a pencil or drawing board. At 17, Tesla nearly died of cholera. Lying on his deathbed, he made a desperate bargain with his father. "If I survive, let me study engineering." He survived, and the world would never be the same. In 1884, Tesla stepped off a boat in New York City with 4 cents in his pocket, a letter of recommendation, and an idea that would reshape civilization. The letter was addressed to Thomas Edison. Tesla went to work for Edison, but the 2 men were oil and water. Edison had built his empire on direct current, DC. Tesla championed alternating current, AC. The difference was everything. DC power couldn't travel more than a mile before it lost strength. Tesla's AC could travel hundreds of miles, efficiently and cheaply. Edison knew this threatened his entire business empire, and he refused to accept it. The breaking point came when an Edison manager allegedly promised Tesla $50,000 to redesign their inefficient motors. Tesla worked tirelessly, delivered the results, and then was told with a smirk, "Tesla, you clearly don't understand American humor." There was no money. There never was. Tesla walked out and into the history books. Entered George Westinghouse. He saw what Edison refused to acknowledge. He bought Tesla's AC patents, and together they made their move. In 1893, they illuminated the Chicago World's Fair, the largest electrical display the world had ever seen, entirely on AC power. And in 1896, they harnessed the raw fury of Niagara Falls, sending power across 26 miles to the city of Buffalo. Edison lost, AC won, but history doesn't always reward the right man. Tesla didn't want to just transmit power through cables. He wanted to transmit it through the air itself. In 1898, he demonstrated something no one had ever seen, a radio-controlled boat, operated wirelessly from across a room. The crowd thought it was magic. Tesla called it the future. It was, in every sense, the birth of robotics and remote control. Then there was radio. Guglielmo Marconi is in most textbooks as the father of radio, but in 1943, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled otherwise. Tesla's patents predated Marconi's work. The credit had simply gone to the wrong man. But Tesla's real obsession was the Wardenclyffe Tower, a massive structure on Long Island designed to do the unthinkable, transmit wireless electricity and information to any point on Earth using the planet itself as a conductor. It was backed by financier J.P. Morgan, until Morgan asked one devastating question. If anyone can draw power from the air, where do we put the meter? There was no answer Morgan wanted to hear. If energy was free, there was no business model. After a market crash in 1901 and no path to profit, Morgan pulled the funding. Wardenclyffe Tower was abandoned and eventually sold for scrap metal. Tesla's greatest dream demolished. As the 20th century rolled forward, Tesla fell further behind, not in ideas, but in the world's attention. He suffered from what we'd now recognize as severe OCD. He was consumed by a phobia of germs, an obsession with the number 3, and rituals that governed every part of his daily life. He became a solitary figure, spending long hours feeding pigeons in Manhattan's Bryant Park, finding in them a companionship the world of business had never offered him. He claimed to have developed a peace ray, a directed energy particle beam so powerful, he said, that it could destroy entire armies from a distance and make war itself obsolete. Investors called him a madman. The press mocked him. Meanwhile, Edison built General Electric. Marconi built a radio empire. Both became legends in their lifetimes. And Tesla? In a move that defined his character completely, he tore up his own royalty contracts with Westinghouse. The company was struggling, and the royalty payments would have bankrupted it. Tesla, who could have become one of the wealthiest men in history, gave it all up. He chose the survival of his ideas over the comfort of his bank account. Tesla died on January 7, 1943, alone in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel. He was 86 years old. There was no family at his side, no celebration, no farewell. Within hours of his death, the U.S. government's Office of Alien Property seized his trunks, decades of notes, blueprints, and research. The stated reason: national security concerns over his death ray claims. Some of those documents remain classified to this day. For decades that followed, textbooks told the story of Edison. Corporations, after all, write history. Edison was the ideal American hero, an entrepreneur, a showman, a businessman. Tesla was an immigrant visionary who didn't speak the language of capital or self-promotion. Without a company protecting his name, without heirs fighting for his legacy, Tesla faded. Not because he failed, but because the system he refused to play had no use for him anymore. But here's what's remarkable. The erasure didn't hold. Look around you right now. The AC current powering your home, Tesla. The radio signal your phone is receiving, Tesla. The motor humming inside your electric vehicle, Tesla. Even the company on that vehicle's badge carries his name, Tesla Inc. Every time you flip a switch, stream a video, or charge a device wirelessly, you are living inside the world Nikola Tesla imagined. He didn't just invent technologies, he described a future that the world needed a century to build. He wasn't erased because he failed. He was erased because he was too far ahead, and the people with the power to control the present couldn't afford to let the future arrive too soon. Nikola Tesla once said, "The present is theirs. The future, for which I truly worked, is mine." The lights in your room, the screen in your hand, the invisible signals moving through the air right now, they are all his.